Hey everybody, it's Shaman Sister Sin, and you're listening to the Meditations and More podcast brought to you by littleshaman.org. That's me, the Little Shaman. Today I wanted to talk to you about one of the hardest things for people to understand when dealing with narcissists, and that is probably that the narcissist behavior really has nothing to do with other people. This sounds trite, but it really is all about them. Now that can be hard to grasp because, of course, if someone does something specifically to you, you're going to think their motive has to do with you. Most of the time in life, that would be true. With narcissists, it's really not. It really doesn't have anything to do with you. They aren't really trying to destroy you because you don't matter. Now hear me out. I know we always say their goal is to destroy people. And it is, but their motive is not just because they're trying to cause people pain. Their goal is to destroy the other person to elevate themselves. The other person is not the motive. It has nothing to do with them. You don't even register. This is not a war that they're fighting with you. This is a war they're fighting with themselves, and you're just getting caught in the crossfire. Now that's not to say it's accidental. Not at all. But you or feelings for you or about you or against you is not the motive. Nothing to do with you is the motive. To be perfectly honest and perfectly blunt, you really could be anybody. Their battle is with themselves, and their only motive is self-preservation. At first it seems like narcissists are playing games with other people, but the more you really look into it, it starts to make sense that narcissists are actually using other people to play games with themselves. Other people are just tools that narcissists use to either hurt themselves or make themselves feel good. Other people are literally props in their one-man show. And again, I use the word literally because that's not a metaphor. Now you might say, I'm not a prop, I'm a person. Not to the narcissist. This is something a lot of people don't understand, and that's probably because for most of us, it's difficult to really grasp that level of self-involvement. It's hard to understand a level of self-focus so deep and exclusive that other people are not only not considered, they don't even exist. They're not even seen as people at all. I don't think emotionally it can be understood by non-narcissistic people. We can intellectually understand and we can say the words, we can explain it to each other, but emotionally I think it's always going to be a mystery. As thinking, feeling, non-narcissistic human beings, we just don't get that. How can it be that the motive of abusive behavior is not solely to hurt the other person? The answer can be found by deconstructing that idea. You have to try to look at it from their point of view, and in order to do that, you have to break it down completely. For starters, we would have to realize that we're seeing the motive through our own eyes as the person being abused. This is going to be a personal perspective no matter what, because you've been hurt. We are entitled to that perspective 100% because when someone hurts you, it is personal to you. It is not personal to the narcissist, not the way that we would mean that. Why do humans want to hurt other people? Usually it's because they've hurt us first. There are also sadistic people who get off on the pain they're causing to other people. Now, while both of these seem to fit the narcissist, the truth is that neither one of them really do. It isn't you who has hurt the narcissist, and inside they do know that. You're simply a stand-in. You're a representative for their own failure and their own self-hatred. So, although this is the motive they often claim to have, it's false. The hurt and the hatred they feel is coming from within themselves, and they do know that. Every time they attack you, all they're really doing is burning themselves in effigy. Narcissists can also often seem like sadists, and while they may at times seem to enjoy the pain they're causing, they're not really sadistic. Sadists have to see their victims as thinking, feeling humans to get enjoyment out of torturing and hurting them, but narcissists don't really operate that way. The enjoyment they're getting out of it is all self-focused rather than other-focused. They feel good hurting people because it takes pressure off of them. It's like going a couple rounds with your punching bag. It makes you feel good, but not because you hurt the bag. The bag has no feelings. You feel good because you blew off steam. Now, everyone is, of course, different, but the main exception to that would probably be the narcissistic psychopath, because they operate on just a whole different level. Those are the guys that end up becoming serial killers and stuff like that. Then, after we understood all of that, we would have to understand, truly understand, that narcissists do not see people as people the way we see people as people. We see people as individuals with feelings and needs and desires, motivations, aspirations, dreams, goals. Narcissists do not see, understand, or care about any of that. And really, just saying that does not convey how empty their understanding of other humans really is. You are one-dimensional to a narcissist. Like I said, a prop. And you only matter as far as how they can use you to make themselves feel. This is not malicious. They don't see it that way because the person's life is not even considered. Nothing about you matters. Not only does it not matter, they don't even realize any of these things are true, that you have feelings and needs and desires. That's not even on their radar at all. If they are somehow forced to recognize a need or a feeling of another person, the recognition is extremely superficial and they have absolutely no interest in it or understanding of it whatsoever. The only thing they might be remotely interested in is some feelings you might have about them. To the narcissist, every other human being is a mirror they are looking into and either seeing a good reflection of themselves or a bad one. They do not see another person at all. Thirdly, after we understand all of those things, we would have to understand that when all of these previous things are true, the behavior of the narcissist ceases to be abuse in their eyes. It wouldn't matter anyway, though, because of the way their dysfunction is structured. Narcissists are under internal attack by their superego all the time. Therefore, in their mind, they can't be abusers regardless because they're victims. What we call abuse, they would call blowing off steam or defending themselves and things like that. This is very telling. The word abuse involves the acknowledged and purposeful hurting of other people. Blowing off steam doesn't acknowledge anybody else at all. It acknowledges only the narcissist and their feelings and their problems. And that's appropriate since that's how they see everything. How can you abuse a punching bag? You can't. It doesn't have any feelings. So in a very real way, they have no motive to destroy you because as far as they see it, you don't even really exist. Their only motive is to save, preserve, and protect themselves. We find it shocking that they can be so callous, but from their point of view, they haven't done anything odd or terrible. This is how it is. The only real problems are their problems. The only real feelings are their feelings. The only real person is them. I don't know how to explain it any more clearly than that. You can take everything I'm saying literally. Now let's be clear. This does not somehow make their behavior not abuse. It doesn't excuse anything. It doesn't justify anything. The goal of this podcast and of this whole show is to help people understand what they're dealing with. It doesn't matter what the narcissist's motive is because the end result is still the same. Whether their goal is to destroy you or save themselves, they are abusive, manipulative, and completely, totally selfish to the exclusion of everything and everybody else. Understanding their behaviors and motives can not only help you deal with narcissists better, it helps people realize that the problem is within the narcissist, not with them. This can help immensely with letting go of the hurt and the hatred so that people can truly realize it wasn't anything they did and there was nothing they could have done, so they can move on to a happier, healthier life without narcissists and the baggage that comes with that. I hope this cleared a few things up for you. As always, I look forward to your comments, questions, and suggestions. So please keep those coming. You've been listening to the Meditations and More podcast brought to you by littleshaman.org. That's me, the Little Shaman. May the Great Spirit bless you and have a wonderful day.